Underneath your roof, there's a space meant to protect everything you hold dear, your health, your family, your future. It's where you light incense, close your eyes, and whisper wishes into the unseen. But what if that very space is the reason things keep going wrong? What if, while you're praying for peace, your altar is silently leaking your fortune, blocking your blessings, and turning your luck to dust? This isn't fear-mongering. It's a truth too many discover too late. Because the altar is not just spiritual decor, it's an energy command center. And like any powerful system, the smallest error can crash the whole thing. A single misplaced item, a trinket from vacation, a dried-up flower, a cracked statue you couldn't throw away, could be the hidden source of your stress, financial setbacks, or that strange heaviness in your home no one talks about. Here's the shocking part. Almost every household has at least one of these forbidden items sitting on their altar right now. And the longer it stays there, the more it disturbs the flow of energy you're counting on to guide your life. So before you light that next stick of incense, stop. Look closer. You may think your altar is sacred, but is it safe? Today, we reveal the 5 objects you must never, under any circumstances, place on your altar. Not because they're ugly, not because of outdated superstition, but because they carry energy that can tangle your fate, reverse your progress, and quietly invite chaos into your home. This is your wake-up call, the difference between a space that blesses your life and one that slowly breaks it. Item 1. Decorative objects with no spirit. You think you're honoring the sacred. You think placing something beautiful, elegant, or symbolic on your altar adds to its energy. Maybe a crystal orb that catches the light just right, a miniature statue of an angel, or a figurine that reminds you of hope. But what you don't realize is this: beauty doesn't equal spiritual resonance. And in the language of energy, an item without alignment is not neutral, it's disruptive. The number one mistake people make with their altar isn't lack of devotion, it's decorating. Somewhere along the way, the altar, a space meant for reverence, prayer, and sacred intention, became just another shelf, a place to make pretty, a corner to express personality, a surface to fill because it looked too empty. But an altar isn't empty when it's simple. It's empty when the objects on it don't carry meaning, don't carry spirit, don't carry alignment with the sacred purpose of that space. Here's the truth. The moment you place a decorative item on your altar, something with no spiritual origin, no consecrated energy, no intentional vibration, you've introduced noise into a frequency that was built to be still. And when you introduce noise into stillness, you dilute its power. You break the signal, you block the flow. Energy isn't symbolic, it's structural. Think of your altar like a power outlet, clean, direct, built to carry one kind of current. The moment you start jamming random things into that outlet, even if they're shiny or sentimental, you risk a short circuit. You wouldn't plug your television and a blender into the same outlet and expect clarity. So why expect your prayers to rise clearly when the space you're using to send them is energetically cluttered? The most dangerous items are often the ones that look harmless. A snow globe from a trip to Colorado. A metallic figurine of an animal that makes you smile. A decorative plate with a lovely quote. These items might lift your mood, but they don't lift your energy. And in spiritual terms, if something doesn't lift your energy, it lowers it, or at best, confuses it. The altar is not a gallery. It is not a display case. It's a doorway. And every object you place on it either keeps that doorway open or slams it shut, softly, silently, until you can't feel the connection anymore and wonder why your intentions keep missing their mark. Let's be honest, it's tempting. Especially in a culture where self-expression is valued, where aesthetic often feels like purpose, and where sacredness is too often replaced with style. But the altar isn't about expression. It's about alignment. It's about resonance. You're not building a shrine to your personality. You're building a bridge to something higher than you. And that bridge can't hold both devotion and distraction at once. One of the most common consequences of this mistake is emotional static. People report feeling disconnected, anxious, foggy, even though they pray daily. Even though they sit in front of their altar and try to feel something. They light candles, close their eyes, but there's no peace, no shift. Why? Because the environment is energetically jammed. The space is cluttered with objects that have no business being part of a sacred transmission. They may not be bad, but they're not tuned. They're not aligned, and so they interrupt. Some say, but this object brings me comfort. Comfort is not clarity. Your altar's job is not to soothe your ego, it's to connect your soul. Sentimental items have a place, just not on the altar. If the item reminds you of someone you lost, or a joyful time, or even a powerful healing, place it somewhere else. Let it be part of your daily life, not your sacred ritual. Because your altar doesn't need reminders, it needs readiness, not memory, presence. And here's the hardest part for many, letting go of items you thought were helping. The ones you intentionally placed there. The ones that have been sitting for months, even years. But if you're serious about shifting your energy, about truly aligning your life with clarity, direction, and spiritual strength, then you must clear the clutter. Walk up to your altar today and look at every object on it. Ask yourself one by one, does this item carry sacred energy? Was it placed here with spiritual intent, not just emotional attachment? Was it cleansed, blessed, or chosen for its alignment, not its beauty? If the answer is no, it doesn't belong there. This isn't about fear, it's about respect. About understanding that sacred spaces aren't built on sentiment, they're built on frequency. That your altar is a tuning fork for your soul. And that anything out of tune, no matter how small or beloved, can throw everything off. Just like one wrong note ruins a song, one wrong object can distort the entire vibration of your sacred space. The solution is simple. Remove what doesn't belong. Thank the object if it holds meaning for you. Clean it, relocate it. Then return to your altar and feel the difference. The silence will be deeper, the stillness will hum, your breath will settle. And when you speak your intention again, it won't feel like shouting into a void. It will feel like placing a key into a lock and turning it. That's the power of a clear altar. That's the energy you've been missing. And now, you know why. Item 2. Wilted flowers, dried or dying plants. They looked beautiful just days ago. A full bouquet in bloom, vivid, fragrant, full of life. But now the petals have curled, the stems have sagged. The water has turned cloudy, sour with time. And yet, they're still sitting on your altar. Why? Because somewhere deep down, you didn't want to disturb the moment. You didn't want to throw away what once felt meaningful. But here's the truth no one tells you. Wilted flowers don't honor the sacred. They suffocate it. And the longer they sit on your altar, the more they invite the exact energy you're trying to keep out of your life. In spiritual terms, flowers are not just decorative. They are living offerings. They represent purity, gratitude, the present moment in full bloom. A fresh flower placed with intention sends a clear message to the universe. I am here, I am awake, and I offer my best to the higher source. But the moment that flower begins to die, its energy changes. It no longer radiates vitality. It begins to absorb, to pull in the stagnation, heaviness, and decay that its physical form now mirrors. This is not poetic, it's energetic. Dead or dying plants on an altar carry what we call low vibrational energy. the kind that echoes endings, loss, and spiritual detachment. And when your sacred space becomes a resting place for what's already dead, you're not creating a bridge to the divine, you're building a wall. One that blocks intention, one that clogs clarity, one that calls in sadness instead of light. Many people don't realize how this shows up. You feel stuck, like something in your life won't move forward, like you're doing everything right, praying, hoping, manifesting, but your days feel heavier and your results feel thinner. Your altar is meant to amplify your energy, but instead it's reflecting the energy of decay, of delay, of endings that never got cleared. Here's the hard part: it feels innocent. You didn't mean any harm, you were just busy. Or maybe the flowers still look okay. Or maybe you told yourself they're just flowers, but sacred space responds not to your excuses, but to your actions. And even something as seemingly harmless as a vase of wilted roses can start to shift the entire atmosphere of your home without you noticing. Until it's too late. This isn't about superstition. It's about spiritual hygiene. Just like you wouldn't leave moldy food in the kitchen or let trash pile up in the hallway, you can't let dead matter linger in a place meant for light and clarity. Wilted flowers are silent energy leaks. They don't scream. They don't break, they just sit and shift the current beneath your awareness until peace becomes tension, until ease becomes resistance, until faith begins to feel far away. And what about dried flowers? Preserved, arranged, made to look artful? Let's be clear, dried flowers are not living offerings. They are aesthetic remains. Their energy, while beautiful to the eye, still carries the vibration of death. They no longer offer life force, they symbolize what is past, what is no longer evolving. And your altar, the heart of your spiritual ecosystem, cannot thrive when surrounded by reminders of what's already gone. That doesn't mean dried flowers have no value. They can be lovely in other parts of your home. But on the altar, they don't belong, because your sacred space is about now. It's about the breath you're taking, the prayer you're speaking, the path you're still walking. And that space deserves offerings that carry life, not remnants of what life used to be. So what should you do? Begin with mindfulness. The moment a flower begins to droop or lose its color or emit a sour scent, that's your cue. Remove it, not carelessly, not like trash, but with reverence. Hold it gently. Thank it for its offering. Then release it with intention. You can bury it in the earth, returning it to nature with a quiet word of gratitude. Or you can compost it, letting it fuel new growth. But whatever you do, don't just throw it in the trash like a chore. Because how you treat your offerings becomes how your energy is treated in return. This practice isn't about perfection, it's about respect. For the space, for the intention, for the energy that flows through and around you every day. When you treat your altar like a living space, not a symbolic shelf, you begin to understand how energy really works. And that's when everything changes. You may notice it immediately. A shift in the air, a lightness in the room, a deeper breath when you sit down to pray. That's not magic, that's alignment. That's what happens when your physical space begins to reflect your spiritual clarity. When the living meets the sacred and nothing stands in between. So go now, look at your altar, what's blooming and what's withering. What's alive and what's simply lingering out of habit. Let your sacred space reflect your highest intention, not your leftover decoration. And remember, a single fresh flower offered with full presence carries more power than any elaborate arrangement clinging to beauty long after its energy has left. Clean the space, clear the air, and let your altar breathe again. Item 3. Secondhand spiritual items. It looks antique, beautiful. A carved wooden altar you found at a garage sale. A vintage Buddha statue from an estate auction. A copper incense holder passed down from a relative who didn't really believe, but kept it anyway. You bring it home, thinking it adds character, spiritual charm, or just saves a little money. But there's something you weren't told, and something you may already be feeling. Secondhand sacred objects are never just objects. They carry energy, and sometimes they carry energy you absolutely do not want in your home. In the world of spiritual alignment, not all items are equal, especially not the ones that have history. Why? Because sacred objects absorb, they imprint, they remember. And if that item spent years in a home filled with arguments, illness, financial collapse, or spiritual neglect, guess what energy it's now holding? That object may be polished on the outside, but energetically it's soaked in the past. In someone else's story, in someone else's karma. And when you bring it into your sacred space, your altar, your energy center, your spiritual bridge, you're not just welcoming the item. You're welcoming the baggage. This isn't about being superstitious. It's about understanding how energy transfer works. Imagine borrowing a stranger's worn-out shoes and wearing them every day. You may look stylish, but eventually your feet will feel the strain. Your alignment will shift. Your step will falter. The same happens when you adopt spiritual items without knowing their origin, their purpose, or their energetic history. You're walking into energy that wasn't meant for you and wondering why your path keeps getting heavier. Some people notice the shift immediately. A peaceful home suddenly feels tense. Sleep becomes restless. Prayers feel blocked. Financial momentum stalls. Others feel it more subtly, a sense of unease, increased arguments, a drop in motivation or clarity. You try to shake it off, but the heaviness lingers. That's the echo of old energy living inside your sacred space, and it's not leaving on its own. The danger of second-hand sacred items isn't always in their appearance, it's in their attachment. Was that statue ever truly respected? Was the incense bowl used with intention or left covered in dust for years? Was the altar used for light or forgotten in a corner while life around it collapsed? Energy is not erased by time. It lingers, and if the original owner never cleansed it emotionally or spiritually, you're absorbing everything they left behind, including their misfortunes. Some people collect these items because they're rare, or have character, or are too beautiful to waste. But beauty is not the same as blessing. Just because an object looks holy doesn't mean it's clean. Just because it once held power doesn't mean it still does, or that it's aligned with your energy. Especially when it comes from someone who didn't fully honor it, or someone whose life ended in turmoil. Think of it like a book filled with someone else's unfinished prayers, and you're now flipping through the pages wondering why none of the chapters feel like yours. There's also a kind of spiritual arrogance that gets people into trouble, the belief that I'll just cleanse it later, or I can handle whatever energy it has. But cleansing is not always simple, and confidence is not the same as spiritual permission. You wouldn't wear a stranger's wedding ring and expect the same love they had. You wouldn't drink from an unwashed cup and expect it to nourish you. Sacred energy requires sacred care, not assumption, not shortcuts. Now, does this mean you can never use second-hand spiritual items? No, but it means you must treat them with caution, clarity, and deep intention. If you absolutely must keep an inherited or purchased item, it must go through a cleansing ritual. This isn't optional, it's essential. You're not just cleaning the surface, you're resetting the energy. You're saying, whatever you've carried before, I release it. You are now in a new space for a new purpose, aligned with new intention. That ritual can take many forms: incense cleansing, sunlight purifying, spoken prayer over days, or using sacred herbs and water. But the most important part is your presence. You must be fully committed to the release, fully intentional with the transition. And if after cleansing the item still doesn't feel right, listen to that. Your body knows, your spirit knows. Don't force it just because it was expensive or rare or sentimental. Spiritual clarity always costs less than spiritual confusion. Here, ask what to do right now. Look around your sacred space. Ask yourself, what have I brought into this home that wasn't originally mine? Then go deeper. Do I know the story behind it? Do I know the energy it holds? Do I feel peace when I'm near it, or tension I can't explain? And if the answers feel unclear, that's your sign. Don't wait until your blessings feel blocked. Don't wait until your altar becomes heavy with silence. Clear it now. Release it now. Reset the energy before it begins resetting you. Because at the end of the day, your altar isn't meant to hold history. It's meant to hold presence. It's not a museum of forgotten faith. It's a living space for living intention. And if the items you place there are not aligned with the life you're building, they are standing in the way of the future you deserve. Let them go, clean the space, and watch what comes in to take their place. Peace, clarity, flow, and energy that is finally fully yours. Item 4. Unfamiliar deity statues, charms, or dolls. It's easy to mean well. You walk into a shop. You see a small statue, a charm, or a beautiful figurine with an exotic look and spiritual aura. The seller says it brings protection, or money, or love. Maybe a friend brings you one from a trip overseas and says, "It's for luck, just keep it near your altar." So you do. You place it among your sacred items, alongside your candles, incense, and prayers, and then something shifts. You start to feel uneasy in that room. You have trouble sleeping. The peace you once felt while meditating disappears. It's subtle at first, a tension in your chest, dreams that don't make sense, the feeling that you're no longer alone when you pray. And you don't understand why. After all, it's just a statue, just a charm. Just something spiritual, right? Wrong, because in sacred energy, there's no such thing as just spiritual. Every item on your altar is a channel, a frequency, a presence. And if you don't know what it is, what it represents, what tradition it comes from, what rituals activated it, you may have placed something on your altar that doesn't harmonize, but hijacks. Let's be blunt. Not all spiritual systems are meant to mix. Your altar is not a collection shelf for anything labeled mystical. It is a clear frequency space. Like tuning into a single radio station, any interference will cause distortion. If you're creating a space of mindfulness, peace, and connection with higher consciousness, adding an unfamiliar entity, no matter how beautiful, can shatter the clarity of that frequency. And when the energy field is distorted, your prayers stop flowing. Your clarity dims. Your house starts to feel heavy, even when everything looks fine. One of the most dangerous trends today is spiritual aestheticism, buying deity statues, charms, or mystical dolls based on appearance without knowing their roots. Many of these objects were designed to serve specific functions in cultures you may not be trained in or spiritually initiated into. Some are meant for offerings, some for rituals of invocation, and others, yes, even the ones labeled for prosperity, are meant to be spiritually awakened before use. Without that activation, they are empty vessels, and empty vessels don't stay empty for long. They attract, they host, and if you don't know what you're inviting, you may unknowingly turn your altar into a magnet for lost energy or even spiritual chaos. Take the example of charm dolls or spirit figurines popular in some Southeast Asian traditions. Some are designed to hold protective energy. Others are meant to embody spirits, literal entities, that require care, attention, and specific offerings. Without that, they don't go dormant, they go rogue. But these items now appear in Western shops, labeled blessing doll or money magnet, and sold with no instruction, no reverence, and no context. And so people buy them, place them next to Buddha statues or prayer candles, and then wonder why the energy in their home feels confused or even threatening. Even small amulets or paper talismans carry energy, sometimes strong, specific energy. Many were made with rituals you didn't witness, for purposes you don't understand. Placing them on your altar doesn't make them safe. It makes them powerful in a place that isn't prepared for them. And mixed power without alignment leads to conflict. Not always loud, sometimes silent, sometimes psychological, but always real. Ask yourself, do you know what's on your altar? Do you know the name of the figure you placed there? Do you know the culture it comes from, the purpose it serves, the vibration it holds? Do you know how to cleanse it, how to activate it, how to honor it? If not, it shouldn't be there. Not because it's evil, but because it's unknown. And the sacred has no room for the vague. You may think, but I meant well. Energy doesn't operate by your intentions alone. It operates by resonance, by clarity. And if your altar is meant to be a place of focused connection to your beliefs, your higher self, your divine source, then any object that doesn't match that focus is a leak. A static buzz in what should be a quiet room. And over time, that static builds until you can't hear your own prayers, until the very space meant to center you begins to unnerve you. So what should you do? First, remove anything you cannot fully name, explain, or understand. Don't throw it away. Clean it. Wrap it respectfully. Set it aside in a separate area, a spiritual quarantine. You don't need to fear it. You need to respect it. And respect begins with boundaries. Your altar must be a space of certainty, not curiosity. A space for deep alignment, not miscellaneous energy. Then return to the core. What does your altar represent? What tradition or practice is it grounded in? What energies are you consciously invoking? Peace, wisdom, clarity, divine love. Anything that doesn't support those intentions doesn't belong. Anything you're unsure of needs distance. And anything that feels off, no matter how expensive, how gifted, or how decorative, must be removed. This is how you protect your sacred space. Not with fear, but with clarity, with precision, with energetic intelligence. Because your altar is more than wood, candles, and icons. It's a frequency field, a portal, a spiritual mirror. And what you place there reflects back into your life, not just in beauty, but in vibration. Choose carefully. Place intentionally, and let your sacred space be sacred again. Item 5. Broken or chipped Buddha statues. It's just a small chip, barely noticeable. A tiny crack on the base, a faded patch of gold paint. The statue still looks intact, mostly. It still stands, you still bow to it. So you think it's fine. But here's what no one tells you. When a Buddha statue is damaged, something far deeper than surface beauty is lost. What's broken isn't just the material. It's the energy, the frequency. The symbol of wholeness you've been praying to now silently reflects fracture. The altar is sacred not because of what it holds, but because of what it represents. And a Buddha statue is not just decoration. It's not just a symbol of peace. It is energetically the embodiment of enlightenment, of divine clarity, compassion, balance, and truth. When you place a Buddha on your altar, you're saying, "This is what I align with. This is the vibration I welcome into my life." But when that statue is cracked, chipped, or broken, even slightly, that alignment shifts. The message becomes distorted, and your energy begins to follow the fracture. You may not feel it immediately, but you'll notice the signs. Prayers feel dull. Rituals feel mechanical. A heaviness begins to settle into your space, not loud, not dramatic, but constant. You light incense and feel nothing. You sit to reflect and find your mind wandering. You feel less grounded, less guided, less clear. That's the subtle unraveling of energetic integrity. And it starts the moment the symbol you worship no longer holds its full form. Think of it like a mirror. A small crack may not stop you from seeing your reflection, but over time it distorts the image. It creates discomfort. It becomes harder to connect. The same is true with broken, sacred imagery. A damaged Buddha doesn't just carry physical imperfection. It disrupts the spiritual coherence of your altar. And when coherence is lost, blessings don't land where they're meant to. Energy doesn't flow the way it should. Many people ignore this because they're afraid to be disrespectful. They think removing a Buddha is wrong, or they don't know what to do with a damaged one, so they keep it, out of guilt or habit. But unintentional reverence is still misalignment. Keeping a damaged statue out of fear is not devotion. It's energetic confusion. And the altar, more than any space in your home, cannot afford confusion. It needs clarity. It needs completeness. It needs to mirror wholeness so that wholeness can return to you. Here's the deeper truth. Even if the damage seems small, your spirit feels it. It picks up on the inconsistency. Every time you see that chipped finger, that cracked base, that faded face, a part of your mind detaches. A part of your heart hesitates, and that hesitation is what blocks spiritual flow. Not the statue itself, but the subconscious gap between what you see and what you believe you're connecting to. What should you do? First, don't ignore it, don't brush it off. Acknowledge that something sacred has shifted, not with panic, but with presence. If the statue is lightly worn but structurally intact, you can clean it gently, restore what's possible, and rededicate it with intention. But if the damage is meaningful, a break, a chip that changes its form, a crack that cannot be unseen, it must be respectfully retired. Retiring a sacred object is not destruction. It's honoring the energy it once held. You can wrap the statue in a clean, white cloth. You can write a short note of gratitude, a farewell blessing. You can take it to a temple, a spiritual center, or a peaceful place in nature. If that's not possible, bury it under a tree in your garden or a safe, undisturbed space, a place where no one will step, where earth can reclaim it with dignity. Speak to it, thank it, release it, let it go. The key is intention. Sacred objects are not just forms, they're vessels. And when the vessel no longer holds its shape, the energy it carried must be released. Not discarded, released. You're not throwing it away, you're closing a cycle. You're making space, not just physically, but energetically, for something new. For renewal, for deeper clarity. And when you remove what's broken, something powerful happens. Your altar breathes again, your prayers feel sharper. The room feels lighter. You walk into the space and your body knows this is aligned. This is whole. This is right. Because your altar isn't just a corner of your home, it's a mirror of your soul. And your soul, no matter what life has chipped or cracked, still longs for wholeness. Still deserves a reflection that says, nothing is missing. Nothing is out of place. This is sacred. This is complete. Let your altar reflect that, not through perfection, but through presence, through care, through honoring what no longer serves and choosing with courage to release it. That's not loss, that's reverence, that's real spiritual alignment. Final, it's not about fear. It's not about being overly cautious, superstitious, or rigid. What we've just explored, these 5 altar mistakes, are not ancient rules carved in stone, but reflections of one quiet truth. Your outer space mirrors your inner state. The altar isn't magic, it's a mirror. It shows you what you honor, what you allow, and what you're willing to tolerate in the most sacred parts of your life. When it's cluttered, unclear, or filled with energy that doesn't belong, it reflects that confusion back into your days. But when it's clear, intentional, and truly aligned, even the act of lighting one stick of incense can shift everything. Think about the human nervous system. It regulates your emotions, your energy, your ability to respond to life. And it does that best when your environment is calm, predictable, and safe. Your spiritual space works the same way. It regulates your frequency, the invisible hum that shapes how you think, feel, and receive. And when you tend to it with clarity, it responds. It doesn't need extravagance, it needs coherence. You don't need dozens of objects to create a powerful altar. You need presence, simplicity, items that carry meaning, not just memory, energy that is clean, not just pretty. A fresh flower, a clear bowl of water, a statue placed with love, these things don't just decorate a corner of your house. They shape the way you breathe, the way you focus, and the way your prayers land. Maybe right now your altar holds things you've never questioned, a souvenir, a hand-me-down, a cracked figure, a dried bouquet you never got around to replacing. Don't feel guilt. Feel awareness. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. You now have the power to shift what that space says about you, not to others, but to the energy that moves through your life every day. Because the altar is not about the divine coming to you. It's about you preparing a place worthy of the divine inside yourself. And so the question is, what should I keep? Or what should I remove? The real question is, does this space reflect the life I want to live? The energy I want to welcome? The clarity I'm ready to embody? Let that question guide you not once, but every time you stand before your altar. Let that question bring you back to presence. And let that presence become your most sacred offering.